Kitakubu.
Hey everyone, KitaSean here, so welcome back to another Fate Grand Order video. So, Chaldea Boys Collection 2024 has just released on the JP version of Fate Grand Order, and as you can see in front of you, two servants got buffs. Now, we were kind of expecting servants to get buffs in this event, especially Charlemagne, and here it is, he got a buff, and Bradamante also got a buff. It's for her MP, which I believe she needed really bad, so I'm really glad that they buff her MP. But let's go ahead and talk about Charlemagne first, because this one basically buffs the first skill, and it makes it in a way a little bit more reliable, but at the same time I feel like they needed something else instead, and I'll go over what I'm talking about here. So first skill grants one ally invincibility for 2 attacks 3 turns, increased own MP generation rate for 5 turns, and then grants self buff on defense buff for 5 turns. So basically he gets the Hero King buff for 5 turns when taking an attack, and then that Hero King buff will allow him to do extra damage with his MP. So you want to basically put this skill on him so that he can survive and then get that extra Hero King extra damage on his MP, and then 500% chance to seal own MP for 1 turn, which is a demerit. So basically that is his first skill. Now what this buff allows him to get is more crit damage with the Hero King buff. So his MP will basically be doing crit damage along with the extra damage, and he also gains stars with this skill, and that's not with the Heroic King buff, that's just basically with the first skill. This is pretty cool. I mean, he does do more crit damage, which is nice, but I think what he really needed was a taunt, and the reason why I say he needed a taunt is because, well, you want to get that Hero King trait on him. That's the problem with this skill. If he doesn't get that heroic trait onto him, then no extra damage, no extra crit damage. So yeah, that's why it kind of forces you to bring a servant that has, hey, give this servant taunt kind of thing. So that's kind of the problem with Charlemagne. I mean, Charlemagne I think is great as, you know, a servant and everything like that, but I think that was his one problem, and I feel like that's kind of what they missed out here. But I think he will basically, you know, do more damage obviously, but yeah, I think he really needed that taunt instead of just extra crit damage, if anything. So that's my thoughts on the Charlemagne buff. I don't think it was necessary. If they were gonna buff it, give him a taunt instead. Like the crit damage, I mean, it's great. It's a you know, sprinkle on top. It's great, but I think if anything, he needed a taunt. Let's go ahead and talk about Bradamante. Bradamante, as you guys know that I really like Bradamante, and I again have been saying this over and over again that she needed an MP buff. Her MP buff is, yeah, it was needed for quite some time now. I mean, she did get a buff on her third skill, which was nice and everything, but definitely the MP was kind of the problem with Bradamante. So originally Bradamante's MP, you know, AoE damage, 60% chance to stun them for a turn, and then reduces their critical chance by 20% for 3 turns, and damage output MP 1600%, and then level 5 is 1000%, and then the overcharge effect is increased own MP damage for 1 turn, and that activates before the MP goes off. So Bradamante's MP upgrade now allows her to do crit damage for 3 turns, which is actually really nice. This allows her to generate more MP, so you can make looping a lot more consistent, which is nice. And then the of course the MP damage is increased as well. I actually don't know how much of an increase it is. I assume it's by, like, you know, 200. So instead of the MP 600%, it will have 800%. You know, 800% is originally MP2, so I think that 800% has moved over to MP1, and I'm gonna go ahead and assume MP5 will probably be around like 1200%. Again, I have to double check on that, but basically she will do more damage, and because of the crit damage for 3 turns, this will allow her to consistently get more MP, so that it'll make her be able to loop more often. So this is, again, very, very good buff in my opinion for Bradamante. I do think she needs some other upgrades, I really do, but at the same time, I think this is a great buff for her MP especially. I mean, it would have been nice to add some other stuff onto her MP, like maybe fix up the stun a little bit, but I think this is great. Now I do believe maybe they can probably do something with her, maybe her second or first, yeah, her first or second skill didn't get a buff at all, so I would say something around there. That would be kind of nice to see. Maybe some more crit on, you know, on one of those skills. That would be pretty nice. But yeah, that's basically it. Just wanted to talk about their buffs a little bit and my opinion on them. Again, Charlemagne buff, I feel like they could have done something better than just adding crit. I mean, again, it is a sprinkle on top. It is, you know, a pretty good buff, but it's not like amazing. And Bradamante, this is something she really, really needed. And yeah, I'm glad that Bradamante got the buff for her MP. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about these buffs, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.